Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So I'm in the shop today getting dirty, working on motorcycles like I usually do. Today let's talk about friends. Let's talk about having friends, what that does for you, and more specifically, why I believe you don't really need friends. Now, let's start off with that statement. You don't need friends. And for some people, they might think, well, what are you talking about? They get weird on that. We're a social creature. Everybody has to have people around them. I get it. I'm not saying grow a big Grizzly Adams beard and move up to the mountains in a shack. I've known people that have done that and left society and live alone. I don't know if they're happy or not. That's not my path in life. Friends are usually acquaintances. Friends are usually people we just socialize with on a kind of a shallow level. What I believe people do better with is a small circle of supporters, of close brothers and sisters, family, people that you have let into your inner circle. Your inner circle should be small. And the rest of the people, who cares about them? I used to be the type of person from the time I was a teenager all the way through my 20s, up until my 30s when I started doing a lot of mind, body, and soul work and started to delve more inside rather than focusing on what's outside so much. I had large groups of friends. And in fact, I had really no intellectual pursuits. I had no hobbies. I had nothing to me. If I wasn't hanging with my friends, I was doing nothing. Sitting around mindlessly watching television, staring at a wall, just doing nothing. I had no life. My friends were my life. My friends were everything. But were these people that really cared about me, really supported me? They weren't. They really were only, like most people, they're just focused on what's in front of them, themselves. I had hundreds of friends and no really good friends. I had hundreds of friends and still felt lonely. I had hundreds of friends and still felt empty inside. I could walk anywhere in Los Angeles, San Francisco, DC. I just keep naming cities, places I've lived, and I felt like I knew everybody. Everyone. In fact, my mom came to town one time in LA, and we were walking down Hollywood Boulevard, and she couldn't believe how many people I knew just walking down a busy street. Just walking by, hey, what's up, what's up? And if someone were to tell me, we're going to take away all your friends, I would feel like an egg that's been smashed up against a wall. Well, what do I got? You just took everything from me. I have nothing. My friends are everything to me. I would make these statements and defend it. Like that was the goal of my life, was just to simply be around my friends, and then that's it. And meanwhile, all these people that I thought were my friends were individually searching after their dreams in life, where I was just searching after the social circle. And I watched each one of them get married and drop off. I watched each one of them, when I was in my 20s, go off to college, and you kind of never see them again. And they get careers, and they don't have time anymore, and they move away because they have dreams and hopes, and and I just was left there to make more friends. When you have hundreds of friends, you can always find different circles to hang out with. But I realized when I was around 30 years old, and I had kind of a nervous breakdown. I could make a whole nother video on why, but my whole life came tumbling on top of me like a ton of bricks, and I really realized that I felt empty inside, that I hadn't been doing my job, I hadn't been doing my work, I'd been distracted for many years. I feel like I had wasted at least 10 years. I just was like, wow, man, I've become kind of a shell of a person, this fake person. And it was all my own fault, and I felt like this life that I've been living of solely being focused on my social scene and not focused on myself, that I've gone without. There's an old saying that those who don't go within go without. And that means literally that if you don't go within yourself to build yourself, to build self-love, to create yourself into a person that you want to be, you will go without. And I don't mean without yourself, but in some ways it's a double, entendre. You will go without to find that love instead of finding it within, but that's a shallow love. Love isn't a glass of water you drink. You become a fountain. You have to create it. It comes from deep down inside of you. I wasn't focusing on any of this. You may notice that the conversations that you have with your circle of friends are all rather shallow, that your friends are really just an escape from your mundane life, the life that you don't like, those Mondays that you hate, driving to work, your shift that you just can't wait, keep looking up at that clock, you can't wait to get out and be like Fred Flintstone and just, slide out of work. The scene in the Flintstones, you may be too young to know, but he would jump off his dinosaur because he worked at a construction site, and they used dinosaurs as cranes, and he would slide down the tail and fly right into the back of his car and speed out off the work site. That's what a lot of people's lives are about. And where do they go? They go to the bar. They go right to the party or their friend's house. They can't wait. They live all week long to go to the club. I never hung out in clubs. I hung out in dive bars, but it was still the same kind of thing. My social life was everything to me. That's what my life was. That's what defined me. I was so proud of myself that I had so many friends and that I was just such a good guy. I judged how good I was and how amazing I was by how many friends I have. Look, I have hundreds and hundreds of friends. Everybody knows me. I'm known everywhere. I'm known in the streets. I'm known in this world, that world. I just prided myself on all this social bullshit. And when it all came crumbling down on me, right around age 30, I realized, my life didn't come crumbling down on me. My psyche, my mind, imagine a building that has been blown up. They implode. They don't explode outwardly with bricks going hundreds of miles. They implode and just fall in upon themselves. And that's kind of what happened to me when I woke up. There was nothing holding me up. There was no structure to me. You have to build that on your own. So I say, fuck friends. And I don't mean that in a way to isolate myself. I know people. I'm in business for myself. I try to be a likable guy. I have acquaintances. But I only have a couple good bros. Just a few ride or dies, not money. Just a couple. And those people are supportive. They don't make snide comments. They don't jab at you. They're there when you need them. And it goes both ways, and I'm there when I need them. I'm there when they need me, rather. And I think that that's a healthier way to be. So if you're out there and you feel like a loser, like a lot of people judge themselves because they watch too much TV, they're too focused on this fake social media bullshit where people have thousands of fake friends. If you don't have that, if you don't have many friends, you hang out alone a lot, like I do, that's wonderful, because this is time that you can spend to learn, to do the things that you need to do in order to be a better person. You have a gift, and you can use that gift of solitude, of being alone, to really become the best version of you that you can be, and that's what it's all about. I look at life almost like a video game. I can get into physics in a whole nother tangent, but I won't, about a pixelated universe and simulation theory and talk about, some very wacky stuff. But I just look at life kind of existentially, like a video game, and there's different levels. And I don't know if you believe in reincarnation. I find it an interesting theory. I don't know what I believe sometimes, but I find reincarnation to be a very interesting theory. It goes back thousands of years. I believe the Hindu in India, they were the ones who came up with it, I think. I don't know, you can fact check that, but I think they're the ones who came up with that shit. And I believe that there's something to it, and that each life is a level, like in a video game. And what do you do when you play a video game? You can't just sit back complacent. Some games are pretty hard, and this game is hard, and you gotta really work your ass off to get to that next level. And if you don't, you're going to keep repeating the same level over and over and over again. You could do it for thousands of years. The universe doesn't care. The gods up on Mount Olympus or whatever's going on here, they don't care. They enjoy watching you fail. It's funny to them. It's all just a big game to them. You'll learn eventually, or you won't. Just like when you watch somebody play a video game. If it says game over and they die in the video game, you don't cry. You don't take them outside and take them for a walk around the block and are just like, man, I don't know what you're going to do. You know, you just say, well, try again, you know. But I believe that it's our goal, personally, that it's each one of our goals to increase our vibration, to increase our mental capacities, to increase our power, and to do whatever we can to master this level so we can get to the next. And if you're alone, if you don't have a lot of friends, if you're not distracted by all kinds of just bullshit, mindless chatter, shallow relationships that do nothing for you, go nowhere, or just simply serving this childhood need of getting validation, get over that kind of shit. You can validate yourself. It all comes from within. And the stronger you become alone, the more you value the relationships that you have, those few. In fact, that's the way it works. You'll never be able to truly appreciate others, love others, until you can appreciate and love yourself. And you can only do that when you turn off all the chatter, turn off that pop music and the TV, turn the news off, stop watching the stupid reality shows, like Tiger King and whatever. Turn it all off and start filling your cup with some meaning and some virtue. And I'm not trying to be preachy, but it's all about building yourself stronger as a warrior. It's just all food for thought. Don't worry so much about friends. Just focus on yourself. Thanks for watching.